Hang on a second. Now, I know that last year we started this pantomime documentary basically on the start of the first pantomime. We got it rolling then because, if I'm being perfectly honest, the original idea was an afterthought, something that came into thought that was from originally another idea completely and then spiralled into this thing. But no, this year it's hopefully going to be a little bit more professional, like an actual documentary. So we're going to have to go back, way back. So just give me... Yep, that's it. Right, back to me in the voiceover. Roll. Don't ask why there's stickers on my face. I'm a professional documentary maker. So this is day one of panto practice. This is kind of the doing nothing stage. If you can hear, that's Mom just explaining to them what the pantomime is, and we're going to sing through a few songs today. So it's kind of just the beginning, but I like to have this as the official beginning bit. So welcome to the pantomime. As I previously mentioned, each year starts, practice-wise, with a casual introduction to the panto itself and the opening/group song of that year. But even at this point, the parts still haven't been assigned to our troupe of extremely talented actors, thus beginning a stressful period of writing down every possible scenario that I managed to attend without making any impact. Questions that might be more like topics, things to just discuss. So... see, you like, I don't want a double chin, but I don't mind doing that on camera.
My eyes?
Your name and your character, so, you know, name first, then your character.
My name's Lewis, and I played Peter Pan.
My name's Lucy, and I played Frederica, the ugly stepsister.
I'm Rachel, and I played Cinderella.
Lily and Alberta.
Dan, and I was Aladdin.
Mike, I was Captain Hook.
I'm Alice and I played Buttons.
I'm Louise, and I played Alice.
I'm Danielle and I played Dick Whittington.
That's so confusing. So introduce yourselves.
I'm your mum.
I'm
your auntie.
Who are you? Where am I? Who are you? What were your roles in this panto? What did you do? What are your positions of power?
Well, we are writers and producers.
Yes. Writers and producers.
Directors, choreographers, scenery.
You didn't do the scenery.
No, we didn't do it, but we had to costume, coordination.
Yeah, so, I mean, first and foremost, how did you think it went, the pantomime? How did you think it went off the bat?
I think I did good.
I think it went good, yeah. Really well.
I think it was good, yeah. I think the first night was good as well.
I liked the last night because of the dance.
Oh yeah.
You said like you were two then.
Oh, you were the
Yeah. I think it went very well.
Alright.
It was better than alright.
It was alright. It was alright. Saturday was good. It was alright.
Went quite well. Yeah, I think it went better. Quite well, yeah.
I feel we're all quite modest, because that's literally been how everyone has said exactly the same things.
You judge it based on before and after. So we changed that many dances that surprised us that it went as well as it did in some respect.
I thought it was good. Did you say what did you...
Well, how do you think it went, just in general?
I think it went good.
Yeah, I think it went good. Some nights were like obviously better than others and funnier, but I think overall it was one of the best pantomimes.
And some of the characters improved as well.
Yeah.
Not gonna mention any. Cough, cough. Peter Pan. No offence.
Doing the choreography is a very collaborative effort, often consisting of our lovely directors handing creative control to us bigger casts for inspiration, leading to Rachel, Lily and Lewis having to come up with dance routines, including the opening number, some of the penultimate song and even the big 40th year spectacle number. And as you can see, even as far back as this clip, some of the ideas stuck. What is like the importance of these pantos. Like it's this yearly thing that we all come back and do. Like I've been doing it like 16 years. You two have been doing it at least 8, probably more. Probably more. But
This
like,
was my 10th one, I think, when we worked them out.
I'd say it's probably. I think you've done more than that. But why do you keep coming back and doing these? Like, what keeps you here doing them?
Well, I've got 2 answers. 1, I have no social life, so this is it. And 2, the sense of community. You know, we all take part. It's fun, and give something to people from outside the church.
Well, first, it makes me busy on my Tuesday nights and maybe Sundays or Thursdays if we're rehearsing.
It's kind of like a routine for us all. And like, I think because of the circumstances next year, I think it's going to be quite different. I think this year was important especially because it probably, maybe, hopefully not, but I think it will be the last one where it's like this. Yeah, and it's just
all of us.
Yeah, and it's quality time together. Like it's an hour, even more, a week that we all spend time with each other.
It's just like a night out with friends. And night out.
I really know. I've just always have done it and just haven't found a way to say no to Jane and Helen.
That's the other thing.
But no, I don't know. I do enjoy it. I don't know. It's just part of what I do now. So
Routine.
yeah, routine.
So it's the 40th year this year. We first started in 1979. Do you think we fulfilled the spectacle of this 40th anniversary year?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so, yeah. Well, people were crying. So
we did something right.
We did something right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was really touching and moving, I have to say.
Yeah, doing those extra scenes made it better as well.
It made it funnier.
Like the baddie scene, the cast from the past scene, and also the massive dance.
The dance, I have to say, after I finished that, I was crying. It was just very emotional.
So, to start this, we go back to the very beginning. Last year, if you can remember that far back, because I can't. So, like, it was running up to the 40th, because we do the 10-year cycle usually on the pantos. So, what made you choose this one over what it should have been?
So every year, what we tend to do is look at what we should be doing, as in what's the 10-year cycle, but then we look at the children that we've got and what parts we think they'd be good at, basically. But because it was our 40th year, we did think that we got more leeway with Alice in Pantoland to write extra bits and take extra bits out. Yes?
And also, it's quite nice to do the 40th year. We'd actually written that pantomime originally when we did it the first time, so it was quite nice to do one of our originals. And our first pantomime was Aladdin, and although this wasn't Aladdin, there wasn't Aladdin in it. So it lent itself well to 40
It's not
years.
just thrown together, you know.
No, I know.
It is lots of Sunday afternoon discussions.
Yeah, exactly. As you may have guessed by now, this was the 40th year of the St John's pantomime. It first starting in 1979, with Aladdin starring both current
Writers and producers.
Yes. Directors, choreographers.
as leading roles. So this year, we thought it was important to make it a bit more special. So, like we have mentioned, this was the 40th year. So, was it always in your minds that we were going to do like these like special scenes? Like, was it, or was it just originally? Was it just we're doing it? It's the 40th year. We'll make a deal of that, but it's just going to be the panto. Or did you always think that we were going to do these extra things?
We kind of always wanted to do something extra, but we really weren't sure what it would be.
No.
I mean, the Greatest Showman one, we kind of separately, I had a dream about it, and you had like a vision about it.
That's what we were going to do.
Separately,
Yeah.
and we thought, no, we'll never manage that, we'll never get all these people to come and do the Greatest Showman. The only difference was in my vision, they were all dressed in black with a sparkly hat, and in your vision, they were in white t-shirts.
Yes.
So I won that one.
Yes. I'll let her have a few.
Yeah.
So yes,
So-
but the other bits, like the other couple of scenes that we put in, they just sort of came as we was going along.
So
with
it like snowballed in a way. It kind of
Yeah,
decided like, okay,
yeah.
we'll do this one thing, and then it was like, oh, but we can also do this thing.
I
and we
think
can
when
do
we
this
put our
thing as
feelers
well.
out, we were actually amazed. Like we put a thing out to the most people that we could contact to say, would you be interested? And like we had such a good feedback and such a lot of people who said yes straight away. That's when we thought, well, maybe we could do this scene and that, So I think it just sort of was based on that.
So going to these special scenes in like particular. So the first one that you had the idea for was the Greatest Showman one. That was the one that kind of kicked off the idea of having these special ones. Well, first we'll have a look at that then. So I felt like from someone who's like around you two whilst you're kind of like planning these things out, that seemed like the one that was probably most of a stretch to actually get done and what it was and the idea, and it was kind of like we'll never be able to pull this off.
I mean, I knew the song a little bit, but I hadn't really, because it's on the film, I hadn't really listened to it. So the first time I listened to it all the way through, I can remember saying to you, we're going to have to edit it. We're going to have to edit and cut some out. There's no way we can do the whole of that song, didn't I? I was like, got to edit it because in my head it was too long a song and it was too grand and we weren't going to. But you were like, no.
And I was saying, well, all these people are coming specially for that one thing. So we've just got to do the whole lot. We've got to make it as long as we
but
can.
then it did work out really well with a lot of help from Lewis, who did a lot of the choreography for us.
And the rehearsal we had for that was just
wonderful,
amazing with all these
did
people.
Did you video bits of that rehearsal?
Unfortunately not, because there is one on your phone. There is one on your phone of like our practice with everyone there. Because it's the thing about sticking the camera in the faces of people
you
don't know necessarily.
I mean, for us that was one of the best things because like we've been in the Panto House from the beginning. And so all these people that came, we'd known them since they were little, and like we're having a cup of tea halfway through, and they're all sort of getting together, and they hadn't seen each other for years, and they were talking about their kids, and they were talking about this and what they were doing, and it was just a really nice atmosphere, and it was just lovely. If we hadn't done the performance at the end, it wouldn't have mattered just for everybody
to
get together. It was really, really nice.
So again, with that one, we'll jump onto the two in a minute, but like it started as okay, we need to before anything else we need to just put it together we can't make up dances when they're all there, we have to do it because it's not
you have to just show it to them.
You have to show it to them and be like that. But then when did it just kind of the other little bits you added in the hats and the bit with Grandad and those bits, were they kind of more like a spur of the moment kind of thing?
Helen,
this
Helen
would be
was
a
the
good
hats.
idea.
Helen had the idea about the hat.
I do have them occasionally.
Yeah, I think the Grandad thing, as we were dancing, it changed, didn't it? Because originally it was going to come from the front and then that didn't quite work. But, we
just wanted him to be a part of it in some way.
Yeah, and that was the easiest way for him to be.
And it just came to us to pass back from you to him, and that just sort of
came to generations, and it just worked really, really well. I don't know if anybody watching it actually got that's how it was going to work.
I think they did. From the reception at the end, I think it was. I think it was. I think it went.
Anyway, I explained it all in the programme, so of course I did.
I was going to say, I think that went as well as that possibly could have gone.
It did.
Generally, I don't think it could have gone any better than how it actually went. That, which is lucky. It was. I think that was the most nervous thing I can remember doing in a panto, because it was we had one time to get it right and do it properly and all of that.
But you had practice.
Oh yeah, I'd been at work the whole day. I didn't even have a chance to
Vivid practice did that much. There's no way you could get it wrong.
Do you think we fulfilled that celebration of this?
Definitely, especially the last night with the Greatest Showman. Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, having the extra parts added to it as well, as you say, the Greatest Showman, but also the extra baddie scene and the Blast from the Past, Cast from the Past, whatever it was called. It added to it. We got to see how, in one way, how things were done all those years ago and how they're done now. So yeah.
So the thing about the 40th, like we said, it was the fact that this all started from that, but then it was okay, wait, we could, because this is the only time we're really going to do something like this, we could do 2 extra scenes, we could do something each night. I actually very much remember that kind of moment happening with Grandma's. It was
We thought it'd be nice because there is some parents who are what we call the 3-nighters. So not just parents, but some people come to every single night. So we thought it would be nice if every single night we just put a little bit of something different in each one, and it would have been too long to have had 3 things in each night. Because and at the end of the day, it's supposed to be about the kids, not about and because it was in Pantoland, every scene was different, so we could squeeze these scenes in.
So the first one we can just have a quick word about is the bad guy one, the King Rat scene. Now that all first started as a joke that was actually in the pantomime that then went, because it was the whole thing of like we were like, oh, but this would be good to do as well, and then it whole split up into the 3 nights. So that started as a joke that then actually went on to, wait, hang on a minute, we actually have these people available, and it went on from that.
Yeah.
So
we had a couple of our rats. I mean, Michael usually plays a baddie anyway, and he'd been a king rat, and now David, and Jonathan always played a baddie. So we had a few rats at our disposal who were quite keen to give it a go,
and have been a really big part of the pantomime all the way through.
So we thought we'll just.
And we were thinking, oh, what can they do? What we're going to get them to do? But as soon as you started writing it just
when she started writing, it just sort of comes, and then we just add little bits, and they performed it
brilliantly.
Just brilliantly, and it was such a. I was going to say rude word there. It was such a it was a Mickey take, and they did it as a Mickey take, and that's how it came across, and so it just worked really well.
The very first time they read through
it was just funny. Yeah, it was just funny because they were just taking the Mickey out of themselves, weren't they? So it worked really well. Luckily.
So then there was that one, and then the last one, it was like almost, I'm sure I'll talk to this with the others as well, but it was almost like the time travel one where we appeared back in like one of the performances from the 70s.
Yeah. Everyone who'd been in that one, were in the very first pantomime. Apart from Sam, but oh no,
it was Sam. Apart from
Sam,
rewind that bit.
Sam,
we did
have
some of our original members.
Yeah, we were
very, very lucky to get
to have
Kay.
Yeah,
and David was in the first one.
Yeah, and they were really enthusiastic about doing it. I mean, Kay's got a few health problems, so we weren't sure if she'd be able to do it or not. But she was so enthusiastic, she was and just practicing. I've got to say.
It's the biggest laugh we've
had because it just takes us back and it's just funny. It's just like we were back being like 10 again, wasn't it? You know, doing it again. So it was, and that just sort of once we got going on that one, once I started, it sort of wrote itself quite easily.
I feel like that was one that was.
So you were in that scene.
I was in that scene.
Highly honoured.
Yes, very much.
We don't like to upset him, so we put him in that scene.
I would have stamped my feet if I did. It's the thing of like that. I think I remember that being mentioned early on as something you were going to put in, but then it was kind of like pushed to the side.
We weren't sure whether we could do it and whether we could put it in and whether it would be any good and whether the majority of people watching it
would understand.
Yeah, and would even, because a lot of people are in it now. Unfortunately, the people who used to come and watch us aren't with us any longer, and all the people in the church used to come and watch it. So a lot of the little jokes we put on it. Some people won't even.
But luckily,
they
were funny.
But it was funny for us.
It worked in a way.
It was our little bit of self-indulgence. That's our 40 years.
It's a credit to your credit to your writing that the jokes, even though they were a wink, wink, nod, nod, they were funny enough that they worked as just jokes by themselves as well. But then I guess they're funnier for the people who know because they have another meaning underneath it, kind of thing. Like the whole we only had 3 dance moves back in our. That's still funny, but then it's even funnier for the people who know about it and
everybody who watches the pantos who've been for the last few years, a lot of the parents of the kids who watched the last few years, they know that those people aren't regularly in the pantomime, so they know that they were someone special, and they could tell by the look of us that we're old. You know
and I also explained it fully
in the
programme, yes.
Again.
Read the programme.
Yeah.
So, I guess the big thing about all of this is that it worked because everyone was very keen and eager to do it and everyone was enthusiastic about it.
They were.
It just made it really special for us.
It did, yes. It did.
There was something completely enjoyable and special about each of the extra bits we added on. But there was something even more satisfying about the cast from the past scene. The recreation of the old set and having these former pantomime stars join us for that scene was like a TV series referencing a past character or a film rebooting with all the nostalgia you enjoyed from before. Those special scenes were called special for a reason. Thank you to everyone who came and made them what they were. So Lily, we've been doing the panto now for...
Oh no, do I look bad?
They look fine. I'll go from here. There you go. So Lily, we've been doing the panto for a few weeks now. We are Nearly it's the 20th of December. We have 3 months left. Exactly how are you feeling?
I ate my Kit Kat without breaking it apart. That's how I feel.
Is that a metaphor for the whole pantomime so far?
That dance.
TMZ Lewis, how are you feeling about the panto so far with 3 months left?
Okay.
Okay? If you were going to describe it, if you were going to explain this panto so far as a kind of chocolate biscuit, which chocolate biscuit would it be?
A jive. No, actually, I'm trying to think of chocolate biscuit.
A jive was a very good answer, actually.
No, that needs to be the last one. No, I mean chocolate biscuit.
Chocolate biscuit?
A chocolate biscuit, like a chocolate bar biscuit.
Camel-
Right away.
No.
So, this is Hello TMZ. How do you think the panto is going so far with only 3 months left?
I think it's
exactly.
going. I think it's going actually quite well. To be fair, it's pretty sick so far.
How do you think they're finding it?
The banana hasn't come out yet, so we're all right. Rocking herself to sleep. Awake at 3 a.m.
I think it's been a very productive evening, actually. Oh, did a whole dance.
We spent 4
This
weeks
is
on a dance.
this is everyone on your tea break. This is what it's like when the tea break finishes. Everybody, back on stage! Back on stage! As a panto cast, we're pretty tight knit. We all get on and have become our own collective family. Oh, I'm sorry for sounding like Vin Diesel in the Fast and Furious.
There's always room for family.
Practices are a release from the stress and tensions that may follow us around in life, and a chance to just enjoy the time together.
I mean, for me, it's the friendships here. Like, I think if the people here, to me, are like family. So, like, if these people weren't here, I don't think I'd do it. I really don't think I'd be comfortable enough to act stupid and prance about as I do.
I think the friendship group and how we're all different ages and we come from different places and we're at different schools, but then we're all like friends and get along.
Alice, I have something to direct towards you. Now, I have a very specific memory that sticks out to me, and it was when we were playing this game, like towards the end of the night. And the game was, I think it was you, Rachel, and Lewis definitely, but I think Louise was playing as well, where I was kicking a ball at the curtains, and you four were stopping it. And then at one occasion I kicked it and it was a bit too high for you and you went for it, but as you were coming down, the curtain wrapped around your foot and you ended up like spinning
doing a little spin.
and absolutely stacked it on the floor.
Gracefully. Gracefully. I don't know how I managed it.
I can picture it happening and I still don't know the mechanics of
You know
how
what,
that
when you've got your iPhone photo and then you just flip it. That's what I did. 180 flip.
It's like last year we had the thing where Danielle stood on the skateboard.
Oh, I said downstairs that someone was going to bring this up and it would be Michael. I didn't know.
Of course, as any production does, we hit obstacles. Nothing runs as smoothly as you may think. Dances change. Like in the song Take a Chance on Me, which went through a heavy change but it came out really well, so these changes happen for a reason. And sometimes, as the panto draws closer, stress rises and fuses run short. No, they look good. I think anyway. Right, anyway, yes, okay.
Can we do it again? No.
Giggling, I can hear people giggling because they're talking when they're supposed to be dancing. I can hear people talking on the stage as they're walking along. And I can hear them giggling as they're walking along. Just saying. Can't be boys. With anything.
I am neutral in this.
This is one of the best dances, and you've got to all the way through it. You've got to be. You might think nobody's watching you, but do watch. They know you.
So this one is just kind of things, and I want you to kind of say what comes to mind when you hear these words, and it can be like from whatever, just over the whole pantomime thing. So mishaps, shortcomings, and improvisation.
Dodgy question.
Did we forget anything? Like as in like
yeah, we did. We forgot to shout your name.
Yeah, but I kind of masked.
Because that's because Lucy pulled my wig off and then was apologising for it, so we all forgot. But yeah, Lucy pulled my wig off.
And then her skirt fell off. And
My
then she
skirt
filmed
fell off
it.
in the first dance, but no, the last dance of the first day. But it didn't really, like, I just got on with it.
Yeah. And then I added a joke in on the last night.
Cue clip.
Cue clip.
And my sisters, they probably need help with putting on their West Bromwich Albion bras.
What's a West Bromwich Albion bra?
Oh, you know, the ones with no cups and little support.
And if I do say so myself, it got a very big applause.
You couldn't even hear what she was saying because people were laughing before she finished.
My favourite one was, what was it when I said, you can call me Dick? What was it you said?
Oh, buy me a drink.
Yeah, that one was the best.
Who are you exactly?
Well, exactly, I'm Nicky Whittington. One day to be servant to Whittington, Lord Mayor of London.
And not exactly?
You can call me Dick.
Oi, buy me a drink first.
Can't say that I'm normally involved in many of the improv. That's normally down to you, Harry, most years, especially on Saturday. We don't even know what you're going to say.
The improv from what you improv like. On.
The one thing I'd probably say is I took my hook off and forgot to put it back on.
Oh, I pulled your hook off completely.
And he pulled,
I pulled the hook off completely.
I think when I have to say the truth in the one scene, I think I repeated the same thing twice in the same sentence. I was like, "You're pretty. You're pretty, but shy."
And I stuttered on a line when I came in with a fight scene with Harry on one of the nights, and it was just a big pause. I was like, "Ah!"
I've remembered one. It was the Cinderella song.
Oh no!
First night. Me being the dyslexic I am, can't read. Picked up mic, sung into mic, nothing. I didn't turn it on. I mean, I was hard enough anyway, but yeah, a bit triggering.
Yeah, I remember that because I could do it backstage. I was like, Alice doesn't sound
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
It doesn't sound loud enough.
So this next one is a phrase that I will elaborate on more, and I like to call it fartgate. Fartgate. Now, there was on the Thursday night, in scene 10, when Peter Pan has just realised that Captain Hook is in fact once again entering the stage, we all flee, and then from the audience came quite an almighty trouser tumble. And I didn't realise kind of like how conspiratorial this was until I've had a few people different views on it. So Lewis thought something, my dad thought it was me. Obviously we knew it was someone from the front row, so obviously a lot of different people had different views on what actually happened. What were like, from Michael's face, it didn't seem like you even know this happened.
I'm sat here like, I still don't know what you're on about. I need VAR. I need to hear this again.
Dan, you clocked it. I know you clocked it. Like what?
Don't miss a beat.
What was in that moment?
It was just the timing. It was as soon as you hit the floor, the kid let it go, and it was just the timing was. And then you just stood up, and then just the face you pulled made it look like it was you because you was like. Right, but it was oh man, that kid, it was just...
The best thing about it as well is I have watched the recordings.
Can you tell who
you
it was?
can hear. You can hear it.
Lovely.
So you were off stage getting changed very quickly.
Very stressful.
And all I remember was, because I had to hide behind the curtain, was that Harry jumped. I heard his feet land on the floor. You tired?
No, I just got a bit of a yawn.
I heard your feet like bang on the floor, and I just heard loads of giggling, and I was really confused, and I was just like, Alice, what the hell? And then it was after, then I found out.
I jump, hit the ground, and then a fart rings out around the church hall. Now, I originally thought that no one thought it was me, but then after having discussions with a few people, there are lots of different counts of what people thought happened. So obviously, what happened was a kid in the front row, like dropped a trouser
ripple.
Yeah. But my dad thought it was me.
Yeah.
And then Lewis had no idea what was going on. He thought someone dropped something on stage or something.
No.
So do any of you remember this particular thing happening?
I do.
Just backstage and just silence.
When I was on stage and it was happening, and then it was a silent moment, and all I could do was this massive ripper off the chair. Because I mean, they're the plastic seats, aren't they? And this is going a bit technical, but like when you sit on these seats, there's like a little air down, and that causes an echo. That little bit causes a little echo. That's like a little amplifier for a tune.
It was just
from
silent
experience.
backstage, and then you just heard it.
And it was like this massive ripper, and then you could see all the kids go pew pew pew. Look at this kid.
Oh my God.
I was gone. I was absolutely gone.
Yeah, we're just doing, I think we're just going to go through what's done and we're going to pop backstage to get some stuff. So I'll let you know when I leave the hall, yes?
This is.
Alright, Dan, see you in a bit
This
then.
is our.
Right, everyone, you've got your bits of stop it!
Guys, stop it now!
You might have to keep reading, wasn't it?
Look at them. This is what I have to work with. Right, second full run through of a lad in front like me. I'd say I'm quite a confident performer. Quite like being at the centre of attention, and I have a love for entertaining others. But even with an outward impression of confidence, I still suffer a lot from anxiety. Especially when it comes to how well I do, and this year the focal point of that was the song Friend Like Me, my big musical number. With the song that had been done particularly well in the past, I put express pressure on myself to do well. In very particular, the last note, which is part of the reason I recorded it so many times in practice. Unfortunately, even though on each night the dance was done extremely well and most of my vocals were good enough for me, 2 out of the 3 nights I didn't hit that final note how I wanted, to sully that particular song for me when I look back on it.
Were there any pressures on this pantomime because of what it was? Especially on that Saturday where you knew half the cast were formerly pantomime, and the fact this was the 40th year and you kind of feel a bit obligated to have this one more special because of what it was, and not only in the performance itself, but what kind of pressures were there just throughout the whole thing?
Maintaining energy. Oh, it was so hard. That was really big pressure because they were always no matter if I put energy into it, it was never enough. It was very pressurising,
very over the top.
more. You need to put more. You need to do this and this and this, and it exhausted me. I was so tired. The makeup killed. My feet hurt from wearing the high heels. It was a very exhausting character. And also Kay and that were there who had already been Ugly Sisters and probably thinking what's going on here.
Yeah,
it's an abomination.
Especially the Saturday night. I think that's the most nervous I've ever been, because the opening bit, especially because I was on first and the audience were just looking at us three, it just terrified me. I was like, I can't get this wrong. It's the one thing I can't get wrong.
I really didn't know what you were on about then. I had to think. I was like, you're not in the first scene.
When we was doing the Greatest Show dance.
Yeah.
We had one night to perfect it and get it right.
Yeah. I think it's quite nervous because people in that audience have played roles that we've played, so it's kind of like filling their shoes, but filling them right, hopefully.
Which I think is a little bit of pressure. Only a little bit, but
to be fair, the whole thing overall, it isn't very much pressure because we enjoy it so much. I know we don't take it fully seriously, but
Not
the
until,
show,
like,
it shows that we are taking it seriously. We just mess about.
Not really. I never really thought about it like that. I just maybe like the extra scenes because it was what made it different to normal ones with the cast from the past. It's sort of like okay, well, not having many practices of those things.
Yeah. For
Especially
me, it was just a normal thing. Yes, there was extra things, but you know, we've done these pantomimes so long. A little extra thing each night doesn't make a difference. Obviously, for some there is that pressure of, well, those, as you say, those in the audience have been in them from the start, so you want to impress them and show them what the pantomimes have become. But I don't think that really affected anyone. If it did, they hid it very well.
The dress rehearsal poses a very important benchmark to how far we've come. The first real proper run through with costumes and props to be treated as if it were the real thing.
Come in. This is how. I'm sorry, don't worry. This is how. So how did everyone think it went?
Scene 6 was awful. Scene 6 is the worst. Just saying.
And scene 8.
That tells you everything you need to know.
Scene 6 and scene 8.
There's some things we've never practiced. Scene 12 was actually quite good.
Yeah.
Helen had about 7
My week
pages
got
of notes.
snatched.
Personally, I think we were fabulous.
I was going to go banana.
There's literally no one.
Okay then.
There were other parts that made us fabulous, but not us.
Lewis, any final words?
Come and see.
So a bit more of an in-depth chat about any what are your
Yeah, ignore me when I say come see because it's coming outside after the panto.
It's okay.
That's not okay.
Unfinished scenery.
You rats.
This
I
just
can't
shows.
call him a rat because
It's
he's got
okay.
rat
It just
mate.
shows like the unfinished of this pantomime. So a more in-depth like look into this. Like what are your thoughts?
My face burns from the amount of makeup that has been on it today.
Well, I'm glad I didn't wear that green t-shirt because I was sweating buckets.
It wasn't too bad. I guess some of it was really dry. And some people forgot their lines.
And some people cut people out.
Would you say it went about? Would you say it went about as well as these usually go?
No.
You think it went worse, or do you think it went better? So you think
Worse.
there is still room for improvement. What specifically would you say needs to be improved?
People learn their lines.
Because look, the dancers and the singing, they're great. You know, and the sets are great. And you know, once everyone gets going, it's fine. But it's just people who need to learn the lines.
And
I'm
need
the
to
only
get
one
in
of
their
people that forgot their lines, so I need to learn.
People need to get in their character.
I forgot when I say it's not my fault. I got the brains, beauty, good looks. How do you think it went?
It's definitely got a long way. I think if we would have performed, if it was in a week's time, we wouldn't be ready. But I think that extra week affords us.
We have 2 weeks.
That extra week affords us the time. I think what we need to do now, we have plenty of time to iron out those out.
Harry's got eyeliner.
I do. Oh god, yeah, I have eyeliner. Do I look good? And Emily's feeling really sick. Emily,
Emily, come here.
what part are you? Why do you have a green face? What part are you playing?
Because of the crocodile.
Crocodile. See, look at this budget. Terrifying.
As the footage here from the last practice shows, the panto is far more than just actors just showing up and people just doing their bits and nothing else. It's about everyone doing what they can to make it the best it can be, because if you couldn't tell by now, it's very important to all of us.
It brings us purpose. Some in there, look as well. If you look in the book. Is that right? That's not being your Stephanie, one of them.
Lewis, what is going on here? What is this?
Well, half was doing scenery, and the other half, because it's our 40th year panto, we're sorting out all the pictures to put on a timeline.
Emily, what are you doing? Nothing. Fat load of no good.
Then came the nights of the actual panto. Finally, we were here. After all those months of hard work and effort and nerves, the first night came, as did the second and the third. How did our cast and directors think the whole thing went as a whole?
How are you feeling about it? We're at least like 3 minutes from starting.
No way!
No, we're like
There's a
10.
lot of children here, you need to all shout up a lot.
Did you enjoy your role on the whole? Like, did you enjoy it?
Yeah. Yes and no, I have to say. I think I want, you know, I enjoy being the stupid parts, but I think sometimes I'd like to be quite a serious role, but, you know, altogether it was a really good character.
Well, my role is very me. Like, even though I changed it a lot into like something different, I still think it was good.
I've got to say, the costume was everything I thought it would be. I love that costume. That black wig was brilliant. But I played Captain Hook in the last Alice in Pantoland, so I was able to build on it and look at what I was like back then and improve. You know, having to vie for top baddie with Little Harry as well was brilliant.
No, I enjoyed my role, especially like working with you. Like, we always bounce off each other quite well, so. No?
Yeah, I don't have anyone like that.
No, you don't have anyone. No,
I'll just tag along with you every now and again.
You just, well, I don't know, like, it wouldn't be the same without going in, like, panto.
Coke and Cola.
Coke and Cola and, yeah. Oh, you sweet girl.
Yeah, because I burst out laughing. As soon as Auntie said you're Cinderella and Lily and Lucy, the ugly sisters, I burst out laughing.
I walked out laughing.
Yeah, I know, so yeah.
Because I thought that fits me completely. That fits our friendship completely.
Well, I was quite like honoured to be like given like the role of Alex. You know what I mean? She's quite like the
main part.
The lead role.
Yeah. I think it's pretty high up now, to be fair.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
But it was like, it was different because I was in quite a lot of the scenes, which is something that I'm not used to. Like, sometimes I get a bit of a break.
Yeah.
But I didn't really get a bit of a break.
You got one scene, right, didn't you?
Yeah, I think it was literally one scene. Not enough. Yeah, it was alright.
I enjoyed mine. It was really good.
Yeah.
It was something different because I've not got married before and I've never had like a romance, so it was something different. I felt quite honoured.
I don't think I've ever had to wear such a colourful costume.
The hand-me-down, like, pauper from the country farms of the Midlands just turns up in a clown outfit. Something I think we've kind of spoke about this before, but it's never. But like, have you either of you ever seriously considered ending the pantomime?
Every year it's about Christmas. We think, why do we do this? Because we start off, everyone's really keen, enthusiastic.
Once loads of lines.
Yeah. We get to Christmas, nobody's learnt any.
Nobody can remember the dances.
We can't find any costumes.
People don't turn up on a Tuesday night.
Yeah, and then we actually get towards the performance and we do the performance and we think, yeah, this is what we do it for.
We do have quite a few little hassles all the way through and we sometimes wonder if it's actually worth it. But then the majority of children really enjoy it.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's like a yearly. You've never seriously sat there and been like, okay, this is the time where we're like.
We did for a brief moment think this would be a wonderful one to go out on a high, 40th. But then we thought of you and Dan and Michael and all the girls and all the pit, and we thought,
we
no,
put
then
so much into it, you know, and it's a big community thing. And I think if we didn't do one, I think it'd be really hard to get back into doing it all.
It's the momentum of it. I think if we had a break for you, I think that would be hard.
Yeah, I agree.
And also, I still think there's lots more that you lot can do. I think there's lots more. Maybe we'll think about it at the 50th.
Overall, which do you think was the best night?
The last night.
Saturday.
Yeah, last night.
Saturday.
Yeah. It was the best night.
Saturday. Yeah.
Technically, Friday.
Yeah, Saturday.
Because we got it like all right.
But then Saturday,
and then Saturday because we did Greatest Showman, and that was the best audience.
Yeah, basically. Friday was a good audience though.
So the Thursday was good because the audience was surprisingly good on the Thursday. No, on the Friday. The Thursday was terrible.
I think,
and then the Saturday had like the aspects of the impact from like the dances, and then also the audience again, because they were all hyped up after that massive dance.
I think performance-wise, I think on the Thursday we outdid ourselves because the audience wasn't as we'd hoped it to have been on the Thursday. But I think the Saturday was the funniest night, and just the Friday was just the best night, I think, overall.
So, Actually, we'll do what could have gone better first, because then you can end on the... If there is anything you can
always
think of...
start with a positive.
No, you start with the negative and then end with the positive. So is there anything that you can remember that you're like, oh, that even if, not necessarily in the terms of like, that was like bad, I wish we did it. Like, it's just kind of like, oh, that could have maybe gone a bit better, or we wish we did this kind of thing. Like, were there any other considerations for like a special scene or anything like that?
We would love, once we'd started on the special scenes, I would have loved to have put loads of special scenes in, but actually we've still got to remember the people in the pantomime now, and the current kids, they had to obviously have part as
Occasionally
well.
we think of something and we think, save that till next year. So
And
we've got a bit of something in the back burner for next year.
I must admit, I was at a dance show the other night and they did a brilliant Wonderland song, and I thought, oh, I wish I'd have known about this before we did the pantomime. Because that would have been brilliant.
that's
in the
song,
Wonderland
yes,
scene.
yes, it
But
was. It's more
that's
like-
like in retrospect.
I feel like that. I thought that would be the thing. It's more like in retrospect.
Yeah.
This would have been a good thing to
I
put
think
this in this.
sometimes what we have to remember is that all the kids that perform in our pantomimes are not professional actresses and actors, and they don't do loads of dancing. This is the only thing that they do, and I think sometimes you'll see someone think, oh, maybe that dance could have been a bit better, but the majority of the time the dances are as good as we can get them, and the kids try really hard and they do really well. So I think sometimes when you watch back, I think, oh look, there's a step out of line, but really, I think that's just us being a bit
people watching it
perfectionist.
live probably wouldn't.
wouldn't notice. So you know, I think
Just
we have
hope
to,
the fun comes.
Yeah, we do have to remember that.
I only have one gripe.
Go on then. Sorry, you can't say that bit.
The only gripe I have is there are no gripes whatsoever. We've had to cut a bit out, but you're just going to have to wonder what that was. So it is the day after the first night. The second show is today. It will be later on. This is like the morning. It's I think it's 9 o'clock. Here is all the damage, so to speak. Because when you finish the panto, I guess you don't want to clean up, and I understand that because I didn't either. I kind of shoved my stuff in a corner, but that's why we're here now. We're here to give it a bit of a spruce, so it's nice and ready and clean for later, so we can go again tonight. The first show went well. If for my own personal performance, because I would never comment on anyone else's. There was one bit that I need to get right today that I didn't. It was a bit where I was meant to say something off stage when Michael was on it, and I didn't. So I need to make sure I say that. So that's my pointer for me tonight. But apart from that, we're going to clean and we'll be ready. Last year we kind of talked about like the tropes of these pantomimes. On Thursday it's the opening show, so you usually have probably one of your biggest audiences and they're all up for it. On the Friday it dips in numbers and like quality of audience, but then on the Saturday everything's thrown out the window. We put more jokes in, and it may be the smallest audience.
Well, you
but
put more jokes in.
Yeah, it might be the smallest audience, but it's usually probably the most giving audience. But that was changed this year in what way? Like, how was that different this year?
It's just like the Thursday night audience, they were probably on par with what they usually are every year, but then I don't know, the Friday night audience was just
I think one thing you've got to put it down to is keep coming back to it, but with it being the 40th year, those 3 extra things we did each night.
Yeah.
As you say, those the cast that were in for the Friday night, if they stayed and watched, you know, they've not seen the panto before, they haven't been in it for a while. So the extra cast and that staying to watch it and that added to the audience.
Well, like I've already said, the Thursday audience was surprisingly terrible.
The Friday night cast came early, so to speak. It was just
came on the
horrendous.
Thursday instead of the Friday.
The Thursday, sorry, was so just. There was nobody there. The reaction from the audience just wasn't what we'd hoped for it to have been. Like, it knocks people's confidence for the next night. Because like you're thinking, is this not going to be better? Is it? You know, is the audience going to be good? And like you're just like.
I was going to say, we usually have one night where the audience dips a little bit and it's often the Friday, but actually all 3 audiences were fabulous, and it meant that all 3 performances I thought were really good.
Thursday's audience was terrible.
I don't
They
think
were
they
not.
were. I don't think they were
Yes,
terrible.
they were.
Excuse me, go, you're not in this
Yeah,
bit.
you're
I'm in this bit.
I
You're
was in
your
such
bit.
a flunk.
Well, that's just you. Thursday's audience was absolutely
They
fine.
were.
They were all fine.
Well, every year everybody says this year was the best, I don't know how we're going to top it, but every year we seem to top it. It's difficult to put your finger directly on why, but if I had to give a reason, I'd say it, as we've all grown. You know, it's a whole 12 months since the last one. We've all grown and matured in so many different ways that it just makes it better. I mean, with the amount of stuff they've made us do, dressed up as and whatnot, we just sit down and go, yeah, sure, whatever, why not? You know, it's that attitude that just gets you through it. You know, if you're going to make me look stupid, I may as well put some effort in and look stupid myself. So.
And obviously, Jane and Helen, they write the parts and adapt it so it suits the people. And obviously, each year we get better at different things and become more comfortable to do different things. So they just make it more. I don't know. It's just
personal.
Anything about the rehearsal that sticks in your mind? Anything that happened? Just any comments about the whole thing? It doesn't have to be a specific memory. It can just be comments on this rehearsal compared to any other rehearsals or whatever. Just anything.
Late nights, cake, staying, pizza, staying all day Sunday,
lying down all the time.
Yeah.
I just remember Harry not you, the other Harry. During the dances, he was so funny. Every time we went to do it, he made a mistake. He would always say, Lily, stop it. Stop making a mistake. Stop it, Lily, stop. Are you going to get it right this time?
It's good job I was in front of you.
You messed up once and we both messed up.
I did mess up once, but that was in rehearsal.
Going on from that, there are, of course, other memories, and one Rachel brought up was the fact that, again, Alice, you fell asleep backstage.
Oh my gosh, I'm the queen of napping, you know.
Lady Annie P.
But then there are also things, and just anything else that you can like bring up from just like rehearsals on a whole. It doesn't have to be specific.
Alice breaking stuff.
Oh, I never
sticking stuff to your face.
Sticking stuff to Lucy's face and then not have a reaction.
Jane having to lock the cupboard.
As you can tell, we take this job very seriously. So, no.
Professional.
I think there was a lot more food. That's my thing. That's what kept us going, the food.
And like more people on a Sunday.
More people on a Sunday, but yeah, there was a reason for food.
So I'm going to ask you a few things and you've just got to give me your answers. And then afterwards, if you want to elaborate, you can. If you don't want to, that's fine. So favourite joke?
I've just got to say that joke.
Yeah,
by
Rachel
Rachel Saturday night.
Baggies. That one was good.
Yeah, that was good.
Loved it.
The parcel one. And also the aquarium one.
Favourite moment?
Favourite moment would probably be when Chris comes on as big, like the whole reel, like you get the little ones come on and they do those like all the big guns and you're gonna go and kick his ass and then go.
Yeah.
And then you get Chris come on, he's like, I am Tommy. And
I nearly said I am Big John.
I nearly did say I am Big John.
From Panto.
Yeah. But yeah, like the whole thing was quite a bit funny at the same time.
Okay.
Favourite moment?
Of what?
In the pantomime?
Or rehearsal? Just pantomime. I don't have one.
Maybe one of them, I mean all of it, but one of them's got to be at the end of Greatest Showman when we all just sing it. And we, you know, that moment.
Don't cry.
Favourite song?
And probably The Friend Like Me or The Showman Dance was my favourite.
Yeah.
Probably be Friend Like Me.
Yeah. I wasn't in many songs as such this year, but from rehearsals, Friend Like Me looked fantastic, and I haven't seen that in full yet from the night. So that's one that I'm looking forward to seeing because it was outstanding.
Take a chance on me. Or Friend Like Me. Because they took so much effort.
It did.
That when it finally went well.
Yeah. Friend Like Me, Take a Chance and Walking on Sunshine.
Yeah, that was a hard. I don't think it still all went right. I kept forgetting the lines. So I always had to make them up on the spot.
Oh well, no one knows.
Favourite performance by a person?
I think this year the dances and the songs were better than ever. I thought the Ugly Sister dance.
Lily,
not that the Ugly Sister
not
is
that
there
Lily's
looking
holding
at
a
me,
gun at us.
but I think Take a Chance was was genius. It was exceptional, good dance. And what was the other one as well that was really good? Oh, Jeannie, Friend Like Me. I think all the dances were just
And the kids
up
did
again.
the kids did the opening song really well.
Yes, they did.
Didn't they?
Yeah.
I think we take a chance on me as well, which is even better for the fact that it ended up like this, and I don't know if I have any footage of it. Unfortunately, is we had to completely change that dance.
Yes, we did. So I had to change it. So
It went from like one thing to another thing, and that was lucky that we were able to like.
And Walking
rework
on
that
Sunshine, that's another one, isn't it? I'm thinking of all the songs.
It's been a while, I can't remember.
And it actually shows, because on the last night, a lot of the ones who came to the, who actually performed in The Greatest Showman, all our past pantomimers, actually came to me at the end to say how excellent it was. And the dance, because in those days we just used to literally do 3 moves, bit of this, and so the actual fact that, and they were like, I can't believe how this developed, I can't believe how that dance, and the dances that they got, they were cock on, it was excellent.
Take a chance, you're fabulous. Oh, thanks. Welcome. Let me think. Down with his pom-poms, it gets me every time. And it's just like, Harry Smith. Rachel Louise Grundy, she sang really well in the song Cinderella.
Thank you, Lily.
And she also acted like she genuinely hated me.
Thank you.
Obviously that's not true because we love each other.
And I liked Lily and
Lily and Lucy as the sisters,
even when they lost their wigs.
That was probably the funniest when they lost the wigs.
Yeah.
I'm going to sound like a stuck record because I said the same last year, but in one sense, Harry for stepping up into the King Rat role. He's never been a villain before. He's not really got, or I never thought he had the persona of being a villain, but he performed exceptionally well. Someone I was proud to rival for booze with.
Lucy stepped up to the mark this year, I think. Yeah. It was a bit out of her comfort zone because she's like, although she's a bit, comes across like she could be like, but she's not outgoing, is she? But to come onto the stage as well as Lily, but Lily's just naturally like it. But to come on stage and just be loud and be over the top and just go out of her comfort zone in front of an audience.
We all excelled, but there are some that stood out more than others. That they say when you ask Jane and Helen, they'll keep.
Everybody really raised the game. Everybody performed the way they should. Michael's always like a really good baddie, isn't he? And you and Dan are just really good at your sort of camp jokey bits, and like
Harry being the baddie.
Yeah, he was really good.
And the ugly sisters.
Yeah, and then the ugly sisters were excellent to be fun. Then you've got like your stables, like Alice and Danielle. Staples. Staples. Your staples like Alice and Danielle and Louise. And Rachel, who hold it all together, and just do what I mean, and just do exactly what they're supposed to, and together. And then with the younger ones who are coming up, and you can see the younger ones like, well, I've got to admit, like Louis, who just is exceptional, and you can see them coming through, and they're going to take over, and everybody all together. They all sort of raise the game, don't they? On every single night. And they were really good audiences as well, weren't they?
That is one thing. Usually we have one night.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There's our producer from 40 minutes ago.
Hello there! Hi. Today we're going to be taking a stage tour.
Okay. So this is obviously the set.
Not part of it anyway.
Not part of the set. What was this for? This is King Rat's Island, where they used to dance, I suppose.
Yeah.
And this is just literally where we act, like the whole area behind the skirt as well is acting like the stage.
And then we venture into here, and this is where what do you call it?
Just the props go, really.
The props and where what would you call it? What would you call it?
Stage director.
Stage director. Here is where
the grown-ups
get changed.
And where if you're dressed, you hang out. And this in here is just the props and the costumes and wigs and stuff.
Plus face paintings normally there.
Oh yeah, not going to talk like that. And this is just basically where we just hang out. And some people get ready here, and usually this rack is filled of costumes and stuff. Not really exciting.
And in here is when the young people get changed. Everyone has their own coat hanger rack, and then this is also part of the scenery. Yeah. So when Rachel did the joke about West Family Albion, it was very funny.
Unexpected as well.
Yeah.
Got a good reaction, I have to say. So when Michael strips off, watching that back is just one of the funniest things of it, because you wouldn't expect it from Michael. He hated it, but it was worth it. We should mention our family member, should we say, Dave. This isn't Dave, it's just a replacement because we can't find him at the moment. But he's always in background. On the last night, he's always on the top of one of the sceneries, and he's always there, always in our hearts. And that's it. That's all I can think of. Thank you.
So what's your hopes for the future of the panto? How do you think it will be by the 50th? What do you hope we're going to do next year? If you could pick a pantomime, which pantomime would you like to do?
I like High School Musical. That's not a pantomime.
Well, there's the potential that we could lose with going to college and university, and which was the case when we hit that time. We had to make a decision. Fortunately, we were able to carry on, the three of us, and that. But hopefully, we can keep everyone.
Yeah, but no, I think it's just gonna, like you said, 10 years ago it wasn't as good, and it's only just gonna get even better and better, hopefully.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be bad. It'll just be something different. I always feel there's always a different feel with each pantomime, whether we've done it before or not. It always has its own unique feel.
Yeah, so everyone brings their own unique thing to the characters that they play.
It's always different every year, isn't it? But
yeah. And of course, as people, we're maturing as well. We're gaining more knowledge. Well, in some cases.
Yeah,
and we're different people. Compared to last year, I'm a different person. Yeah. And I bet you guys are. But you bring in yourself, but an advanced self into the next panto.
Yeah. Still going.
Robots.
We're all better scenery, better lighting. However, our friendship will still, our group friendship is going to be the best. I hated that. Nice.
So the final question, I'm going to end it like I did last year, and the question is, will you both be back for the next pantomime, whatever that may be?
Hopefully.
More than likely, as we've already established, I don't do much with my life, so...
Yes!
I hope so, as long as plans with and timetables with doing uni goes well.
You're going uni as well?
Well, it's a uni course. I mean, I'm saying local, but you never know with timetables.
Yeah, I don't know.
We might be losing this one.
Yeah.
If I manage to get a job. Well, if anybody sees it, please give me a job. Not on a Tuesday though, or if we do Sundays. If I can fit it in, I'll happily do it.
Yeah.
As I said last year, I wasn't sure because of my A-levels, but
I've coped so far at college with doing it, so I think I can cope next year.
Yeah.
We will be back next year.
Well, I think, unless something
catastrophic happens.
Yeah, unless, something happens, I can't see why we wouldn't be. And then, you could always take over.
No.
You, Dan and Michael.
No, we'll do
Lily, get ready to become tree number 3. But yes, that is it. Thank you very much, you two, for that. Thank you.
Do we get paid now? Or
do you want to say something shocking? Pretend the camera's off. You can say something shocking. Just. Do you pay me thousands of pounds to perform in this?
You're not in next year.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I feel it's not too bold of me to say that the pantomimes are a big part of my life, and have been since I started doing them 17 years ago. And if this year has shown anything, it's shown it's the same for a lot of other people. If it's the reaction when Grandad came on stage, or the sheer amount of people who took part, or even this voice in the audience after the Greatest Showman song. And to my fellow actors, my friends, or as I said earlier,
Family.
I know next year is probably going to be a lot different, but just know that every year we've had together, as it has been, I look back on with nothing but fondness. And as I said in that Greatest Showman performance, once a pantomimer, always a pantomimer.
This is the greatest show.
So we've just done it, the dance, and me and Lucy are on the floor.
Yeah.
What are they doing up there?
Right,
Rachel, dance for her.
We have, we're in the last practice, and everyone has fully entered delirium. It's going no good. We
Lily, there's only a month until the pantomime. How does that make you feel?
Don't talk to me, you punch me out.
Lily, there's only a month until the pantomime. How does this make you feel?
You punch.
There's only a month until the pantomime. How does that make you feel? How does it make you feel?
Stress. And if you punch me again, I'm going to finish you off.
How does it make you feel? So we'll cut to a quick ad break.
So, because I feel like this is incredibly clever and I didn't want it to get missed out, this is a piece of the scenery. I worked this out, so basically these are all distances from where we are. So London, 108, Sherwood Forest, 50, which is actually much closer than I thought, but then we get down to the land of Oz. Australia, I'm a genius, I know. The jungles of India, Peking, King Rat's Island is actually Samoa. That is canonically correct. So I just wanted to, and also, if you spin it, this is the only piece of scenery that we haven't changed. This was here for the last year also. And of course, as it is tradition, on the last night during the finale, we have Dave, the pantomime mascot here. These are all just little things I wanted to explain because I didn't want them to be missed out. Thank you for coming to my TED Talks.